it'd be good for a party actually. Don't tell Alexandra, she'll think it'd be good for a wedding. We don't want any more of those. Oh, we'll get you some cans. I've got a secret stash. Not so secret, I keep showing people. No. I love concrete. I mean, I really love concrete. 23rd of April, demo day. So we're in here and they're putting curtains up around the outside, these big black curtains, to try and take away the tinny sound of the noise booming off the edge of the tin, to try and quieten it down, because effectively it is a concrete and a metal shed. So sound echoes differently in here for the conference than what it would do, you know, in a purpose-built opera house like Australia. So wherever you stand at the moment, the sound's not quite right. So what they're doing is they're angling the speakers. They're going to change the way they do it. They're going to hang the speakers in the roof. They're going to have a series of speakers down the outside. Actually, the screen is pretty good. Wherever you stand in the room, you can see the screen. It's clear. I would just put on an image just to sort of illustrate it. And we want to get the sound right. And when it's full of 2,000 people in here, for example, all sitting on chairs, that will be somewhat different. But and then you've got all the banners which will be hanging down with all the main sponsors. So that will also help. So we're trying desperately hard to turn this into a music hall, and it'd be good for a party actually. Don't tell Alexandra, she'll think it'd be good for a wedding. We don't want any more of those. But it'd be good for a party. I'll be 50 in a year and a half. Maybe I could turn this shed into my 50th birthday party venue. But I'm still nervous because I want to make sure this is right for you guys when you all come, and make sure you can all hear. I've got pretty bad hearing at the best of times. I can see a long way, but hearing something, so when I stand at the back and it's not quite clear, I'm a good benchmark, I think, for farmers with industrial deafness. Or shooting deafness, it's one of the two. Magical measuring tape, look at this. 11 centimetres, the height of that is. That's really good. I mean, it's a bit sporadic in places, but mustard's a great filler inner. You can still got some small stuff just starting to come. Cotyledon stage there, then you've got, suddenly where the difference between where it's got hold of moisture in like almost the grooves and where it hasn't. But actually there's a full crop here. It's just a bit all over the place a little bit at the moment. You can see where the pockets of moisture have been. Not so much on the ridges, but there's full rows, and one big more rainfall, I suspect. Yeah, there's a bit of moisture there, but it's surprisingly dry actually. There is moisture there, but it's not enough to keep a plant going, but it's not amazing to get it really rocking at the beginning. There's a bit of a frost this morning, but it wasn't enough to hurt it. But when you look across, you've got principally about, I suppose you've got 400 acres worth of mustard. You can see here 400, 450. So it's quite a nice block. See where these bits of chalk are at the top here, and then it gets down. There's some pretty awful clay down there. Actually, the looking across, the chalk is struggling the most, and the clay down the bottom is where the biggest crop is. I think another week or two this will motor on, especially if we get a bit of warmth. It's cold today actually. It's like a damp cold, but no, I'm pleased with that. That's going to be a good harvest, I think. There will be mustard for your beef coming this next year. When peas are up, they're lovely how they intertwine and they like hold hands like a family. And they all start holding hands, but anyway, what's that? That's 12 centimetres. They're really starting to come now. This is the best bit about spring after everything is drilled, and you can smell life. There's a smell with a growing crop, and you just feel that it's all started to move in the right direction. But there's a little bit of moisture there, but Yeah, wouldn't do us any harm to have a bit more rain. But anyway, we've got Freddie's keeping the pigeons off on the motorbike, as it turns out, you know, Raymond with his wounded rib cage. So Freddie's doing it, and he's keeping them off and looking around. He's doing a really good job. You can see on the next field there's some dry areas there. It's a bit of sort of chalky land, so it always looks worse when you look into it with the white. But no, I'm really pleased actually how this is coming on. And some years I've not got to drill until about this time. So actually we are, you know, nicely ahead. It's almost textbook. Just get the, and Cambridge is behind us, and then we're looking across, and we're quite high up here. This is Penn Farm. And it's a lovely big group of fields, and you've got nice views from up here. So you've obviously got the machine, the boxes in. Is it only these ones?
Yeah, so this is the full biobox system.
Okay.
So it's the 4 boxes. It filters from the top down through the top 3 boxes.
Okay.
And once it gets to the bottom box, the bottom one is empty with a pump, and that's what then pumps out into your drip line.
Right, so you've used what you needed of that, and that's just now surplus, is it?
That's surplus, yeah. Obviously I'll take that down once I'm finished.
Okay.
I've done it, so all your pipe
Are
work
they pre-filled?
They are. All the mixture is already in there for you. So the only thing that isn't there is any water in the bottom, because we haven't run the system yet.
So the bottom one doesn't have anything in?
Not currently, no.
So this is muck and mystery in here then, is it?
So that is a mixture of compost, topsoil and straw.
Right, okay. Doesn't smell, does it?
No, it smells fine, doesn't it?
Right. And then the next one the same?
Yeah, so the top 3 boxes are all exactly the same.
Okay.
Obviously you've got pipe work.
So the idea is at that point the filter, so anything that goes into my drain gets pumped into the settling tank. That's right, isn't it? Settling tank then pumped into the liquid tank.
Yep.
Liquid tank then up into this on demand, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then that sprays it.
So in the pipe work there's little holes.
Yeah.
And so it pumps up, trickles out through the little holes.
Yeah.
Through the mixture, gets to the bottom of the box and repeats.
Oh, okay. So as it comes down, the concentration breaks down.
Exactly, yeah.
And then eventually in the bottom becomes liquid. And then that's then going to be pumped out to the drip line we're going to install. Yeah,
which I'll be putting the pipe work down for that once I've finished with this.
Right. I don't know if you've looked, but the yard is dug up out there.
Yeah, I have noticed. I believe you want it over on
the far fence line.
Yeah, so just over that way. And
okay.
So what I'll do is I'll lay the pipe work. I'll put that all in situ. So once you've put your pipe to connect these up, all you'll have to do is.
This is your power to the pumps, isn't it?
I believe that is, yes.
Because they were your pumps, I think, aren't they? Yes. Okay. So effectively, most of the kit we see you've supplied, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah. Everything here is from ourselves.
So good. So this is. And we've got water now, all plumbed up. They've just got to put the standpipes up. I'm pleased about this. Yeah. And I see there's a bit of a slope. You can see the level of the bunding aspect, can't you? Which I don't think will bother it, will it? And then that will just sit there nicely and do its own thing.
That'll do it, yeah. And then whenever you're ready, you just come along, turn it on.
And do we ever have to empty it out or anything?
Every 4 years, I think it is.
What, just top it up?
Normally, I think you change the mixture.
Oh, you change it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's 4 to 5 years, depending on how much usage.
So I've got a bit of time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
But all boxes are independent, so there's no need to disconnect any of the boxes from each other. The only thing you'll obviously have to do is disconnect the pipe work from the tank underground. But that would be a case of undo one fitting.
It's not big, is it?
No.
It sits quite. It's actually quite.
It's one pallet.
Efficient, isn't it? In sense of space.
Yeah.
And it's obviously off the wall, so you've got your pipe work there, and nice. So Kim's been a second time. Andy the welder, he welded on the pipe connections. Kim's put these valves on. So we've got 2 pipes, one to the spray store first position, a second position. Pipes coming in, it's done the welding in the chamber. And then we can just connect them up. And then this will all get made good, etc., and concreted in. So as soon as we connect this tank up, we will actually have water and start in theory, being able to start thinking about moving into the spray store. I've just got to get the shelving ordered. Can't get over the price of it. But yeah, this has come on a long way actually. Pleased with that, so it's all nicely done. Better than farmer putting a couple of bits of plastic together. So the security cameras are going up now and the alarm systems, and then they're just getting all the shuttering in now for the next pour, which they're going to do on Monday. They're just pouring the rest of the roadway at the top, which will be good. Then a couple of weeks' time we can open up the roundabout drive, which will be much better than coming down the old farm drive. So hopefully by end of next week all of this yard is done. They've just got to put these drains in. We've got a slightly different type of drain up here. Yeah, so we're putting these down, these drains down here, down this edge, which then will go back into the oil interceptor as well. We couldn't use the big type because the angles are wrong. We couldn't get the heights right to be able to work with the concrete. So we've gone for this. So we're going to put them in, concrete to the edge. And that's our chaff going away. And it's one of my old trailers. Makes me sad when I see one of my old trailers like that. But yeah, so all the chaff from the grain hospital goes off to an AD plant and that gets processed. Still got quite a bit of energy in it. So when they've now got these drains in there and they can start concreting that next week, they're going to now start coming up here. So I've got to get curbs in down that side. The heap of soil is slowly disappearing. You can see in the distance there's Glyn up there on the digger moving the topsoil to the top. He's got to go up a few meters yet. Quite a big pile. We're putting it at the end, so if we need any soil we can go back and get it to bring it back down, because topsoil is always a premium. And then we'll start preparing this and then concreting up to the end of the barn. That's slowly coming around the corner. So we're trying to get the yard emptied out at the moment so we can have a bit of space to work on. And then we can get the screener running again when we dig the yard up. So, and then I can finally start to empty up the builder's area, which is all the way up here, and get the concrete yard back to as it should be. Sort of terrorises me seeing it like this. So pleased to see this bit of concrete going down in the entrance. So pleased. It's going to make such a difference. I love concrete. I mean, I really love concrete. The way it just sort of finishes a yard and you can keep it all smart and swept. I can't wait to get to wash this yard and get it all clean and looking smart. And now the hedges are looking fantastic around the outside. They've really come on. Good old Pete's getting his hedge cutter sharpened up, ready.
As I said earlier, the livestock units were built by Tira Hooley. And he had, in those days, in 1907, he had 150 milking cows. He also had sheep, but he also had pigs. And when we came to the farm in 1958, my father decided that he would actually like to have his own pig herd. And that was when the Dry Drayton herd of Welsh pigs started up. They were very, very famous, actually. They did very well. You can see here that they used to have sales every year, and they also went to no end of shows. So here in James's office, he's actually put on the wall a lot of the certificates where the pigs won in the various shows from 1965 round to about 1968-69. It was around that time that I joined the farm because the pigman had actually left. And I have to say, I'm not particularly much into livestock. So although I took it over for a short term, I'm really much more interested in machinery. And so eventually in the 70s, early 70s, the pig herd disappeared and we moved to fattening. What was interesting though, that because it was my father who wanted these Welsh pigs, he decided to name all the various boars or sows after family members. And I have to say that the Dry Drayton Adrian lot did pretty well. but a lot of the other ones just sort of disappeared. The famous ones of Dry Drayton were Songster and also Waiter. Don't know where Songster came from, but Waiter, of course, as my father used to say, a waiter serves.
Saturday the 26th, and we're out here at on the show field, and the grass seed is not growing, and so we're applying now with a drone on the top, and there is a spreader under the bottom of it, and it's currently putting on about 13 kilograms an acre. I'm going to do it in acres because it's an acre packs, so effectively what's that, 30 kilograms a hectare if it's going on, a bit more than that. So it's going up and down the line. So Andrew's come back. He's got a very healthy tan actually since we last saw him. So
well, I followed you to the Middle East. No, Abu Dhabi this time.
Oh, Abu Dhabi, it's nearly Dubai, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's brought Roger's from Canada, and so they've come out today. So this machine you didn't own when I last saw you.
No, that's right.
And it was actually quite a cold day when we all stood here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Today's not brilliant, but this time last week it was actually much nicer. They tell me next week's going to be
and next week's warm, isn't it? Yeah.
So I'm getting a bit nervous about the about this, and people. It's a water issue that's going on, I think, as well as the fact that Michael's a little bit concerned that he put on a chemical that might be killing the grass. So. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So that might be the second part, but
it hasn't chittered at all in any way.
No, it hasn't. No. When you rummage around out there's a couple of patches you can see has gone green, and then there's others, and it's basically moisture. So there's a patch over there you can see it's green, and it's a moisture area.
Yeah.
So what I'm quite interested in this. You've gone and plotted the field.
Yep. And
last time when you guys came, effectively we just sort of flew about, but we never did it actually like this, where you are actually now seeding.
Yeah.
And how wide is it actually going between the runs?
So
8 meters or something?
We put on an application rate of 30 kilograms per hectare.
Yeah.
Using a max spinner speed, so that's going to increase the width. Okay. Flight speed of 20 kilometers an hour. So it's achieving, it's not showing it here, but it's achieving somewhere around about 6 meter.
6
width.
meters, okay.
Possibly 7.
So
when it comes into land.
Lines across the page what we're looking at, are these 6 meters?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's now doing a headland?
Yeah, so it's on the land work, it's going to go around the boundary headland, but it's going to come back in for battery before it probably runs out.
So the generator I can hear running?
Yeah.
Is this effectively for charging batteries?
Yeah, so I've got 3 batteries, 2 generators there, they're about 8.5 kilowatts each. If you have both of those running, you can charge 1 battery in 7 minutes, and you'll see today that the average run time is about 5 to 7 minutes.
On the back side, those 2 things, is that where it's spinning out of?
No, it's right underneath the
what
the
are
hopper.
Those 2 things behind, are they the spray?
Oh, they're the spray nozzles,
okay. Right.
Which we used last time, but they stay on permanently, they're just not connected.
Because when we want to grass seed this mound, when I finish putting the spoil up there, getting ready for tree planting, we have to walk up and down.
Yeah, well there you go.
Like the Chinaman. Actually, the drone is the kiddie for that, isn't it?
Well, I was saying to Tom, what are you going to treat this with for moss? Granular or liquid?
It's actually it's a granular, but you mix it. We can mix it into liquids. What
we do granular on here with the drone.
Yeah. Once you start thinking about this setup, there's more and more things it can do.
So that's the first cover of the field done. We'll bring it back in, change the battery, top up the grass seed, keep applying it, depending on how much you want to put on total.
Yeah.
Do you want to do another?
Yeah.
Put another dose on it. Yeah.
So will it land on the roof, or where's it land?
No, we started on the grass just in front of the bag, so it will go back to the same spot.
Okay.
He says. So it comes in and then it hovers and asks me, am I happy? And then I have to select.
So you'll sit there above head height, one for
it'll say confirm autos land. I hit that, and there it goes. So that started off same orientation, so it spins itself around to the same orientation. So that used pretty much all that tank, just under 18 kilograms.
Does it have a wear on it, out of
interest? Yeah. So it's got
so
3 waypoints that the hopper, the tank sits into. Same with the spray tank.
Is it almost self-calibrating then as it's going
almost
along?
We had to put it is. What we had to do this morning was put a tank full of grass seed in it, and we take the spinner off the bottom, put this into calibration mode, and inside there is there's 2 wheels that open up a gate, and it graduates it at percentage and lets whatever's in there, seed, fertilizer, drop through.
Okay.
So it knows how much
it's opened up the
so
gate.
It knows its full
it can
rate,
see,
basically.
yeah, it can see what the weight attrition is,
Yeah.
and that's its calibration. So you do it for every different product.
You're not actually doing it, you know, with weigh scales and a bag and.
No. Okay. Well, it's similar to if you're doing correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're doing a horse drill or whatever, it'll churn out a certain amount of seed, and then you've got to weigh it, and then put that into the controller, right? It does it all.
I think some of the modern spreaders now are self-calibrating themselves. I don't personally run a spreader because we're all liquid-based, but I believe some of the modern spreaders now do that.
Yeah. So that side of it's pretty smart, but of course you've got to do it for every product.
Just go and have a look at it.
Yeah.
Now a livestock farmer would be watching me and be horrified because they'll do it so they put it in one go. But typical arable farmer, I'm going to attack it. So how long will that battery last?
With this sort of weight, it'd probably go to 15 minutes, something like that. It's all about weight. If you're doing something like fertiliser and you've got 50 kilograms in there, you know, it's, I'm not saying it's struggling, but it's using a lot of power.
In terms of output, how long can it, in 15 minutes, what area can it do?
Well, we're doing grass seed at about, if I work it another way, we're doing sort of 20 acres an hour, something like that.
Okay, so, fine, 50 hectares an hour.
No,
the other way,
8,
8.
Yeah. So I mapped that earlier, called it this display field. All I do is hit use again. So it's set up for grass seed, 30 kilograms per hectare. That's the max spinner speed to get it spreading. Flight speed, I've got 20 kilometers an hour, height of a crop 3 meters. That's probably worthwhile. So that would achieve, it's computed, it's going to achieve 7 meter width. Yeah. Okay, Tom, we're going to take off behind you then.
Interesting thing is actually, it's quite quick to set up. If I was to go get a tractor, go hitch it onto the drill, time I'd actually probably got going, you'd have done it, if you know what I mean, and you'd be gone.
When we were doing fertiliser back in March, we'd got it down to, without a battery change, 35 seconds, with a battery change a minute. That's topping up the tank, and so just turning it around, landing to take off. So pretty efficient.
How long do the batteries last? And not in terms of time each thing, but I mean, are they finished after a year if you're constantly using them?
They, didn't have a funky angle. They say 1,000 to 1,500 cycles is what they recommend with a battery. Yeah. So it's all about cycles.
And how much cost is a battery?
Well, as much as £2,000 per battery, depending on where you get it from. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's here to take all the beer home with us.
That's right, yeah. Oh, we'll get you some cans. I've got a secret stash. Not so secret, I keep showing people.
No, surely. Yeah.
This is interesting. Are you really getting into this now?
Yeah, it's a bit of a slow burner though. We can't do any regulated chemicals at the moment for agriculture. Anything with an MAPP on it is not allowed yet. That hopefully will come. The rest of the world's doing this, you know, that sort of chemical spraying. What I've got into lately, done a few quotes, and I'm actually starting in late May, is vineyards. It's proven itself for vineyards because with RTK we can get the accuracy of flying along the vines or into row if you're spraying the ground.
So more accurate application.
Yeah, but the reason I can do that is because it's nearly all, well not all, but a lot of vineyards are organic now. Yes. So we can do it because it's natural products, it's not regulated.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so we get a lot of interest with vineyards, and that's becoming a busy season from here now through the summer. So I didn't expect that, but that's there. Farm-wise...
Is that because labour on the vineyards is becoming more difficult? So they're looking for new technology?
Not really, no. I mean, one guy I went to explained that he doesn't want to use, even with vineyards, he wants as little ground compaction as possible. It's not good for the roots. The roots on vines are very shallow. Okay. They don't want that compaction, they don't want the disturbance. That makes sense. Use that. He's a happy guy, but there is a lot of mystery about organic as well.
They think they're losing basically yield through the compaction element of the operations. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting.
But of course the other thing is, and then they could be struggling up steep hillsides, you know, making a mess. That thing's built for it.
Those vines, you know, and that world is actually controlled traffic farming when you think about it. Yeah. Because of course the trees are in roads and they can only go in between.
Well, when I was mapping the other day with RTK, because I put an antenna on here for RTK for the controller, so when I walk around it's pinpoint accurate. And I said, how accurate are your vines? He said, well, they were done by laser. They're actually planted with a laser guide to get.
Okay. So they're amazing.
Quite why they wanted to do that.
Well, that's probably all they had in those days.
So some of the vines were before the laser planting, and you could tell that they were just a little kinky. But the new ones were pinpoint accurate, which they don't need to be for them particularly, but it makes a lot of sense. Right, that's finished, so I'm going to bring it back in now.
So I've asked Andrew specially to do a little special project for me. So we've got some grass seed in, about 4 kilograms currently. And the ditch here, when we dug it out last autumn, obviously it's bare, and I just want him to put some grass seed along the ditch to try and grow grass on the sides of the bank, stops it subsiding, and I'm just interested to see how well it does. So we've got to stand back away from the fence line, because part of the aviation rules they were just explaining to me, so he can't fly it over the top of us, or we be in the proximity of it. So we just stood back. Roger, how high off is that? About 8 meters high?
I think it's 3 meters.
Oh, it's 3 meters above his target?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's going to manually do this, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to manually.
So we're going to see how good his eyesight is. I see he's just put his glasses on, isn't he? So just to recap, you're going to be here on the open day, so people can come and talk to you.
Yeah.
They can come and have a look at this. And,
Well, we're bringing 2 drones. We're bringing mine. Steve's bringing his. He's going to. Well, it doesn't matter which way. We're going to do the demo on the field for the clean water spray.
Yeah.
And that's going to be sat in the yard with me.
Okay.
And come and talk to us.
Yeah. Oh, super. Watching it come out with the on the spreader, I think it's more impressive than the sprayer actually.
Really?
Yeah, I love the way it sort of the way it comes out, and it's more obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, on a brighter day it might have picked it up even more, but yeah, it depends what you're spreading, of course. But grass seed is obviously very fine, isn't it?
Yeah,
We did
see it when you're close.
Yeah, we did cover crop last year, and that was very difficult to see. You know, real fine stuff. And I haven't actually done OSI yet, but that must be pretty difficult to see. But when you're doing fertiliser with it, there's no doubting that it's billowing out in clouds of dust and what have you. But yeah,
I'm gonna go walk up and get you some beer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can take.
Yeah.
What do we get?
Getting home.
2 crates in the back. Well, we've got a trailer, so make it 4 crates.
26th of April. Thank you ever so much. Andrew's just been with his drone sprayer and got the grass seed put on again. We had already put it on, but we've done it again. It's not seemed to be growing, so fingers crossed this now works. I was surprised how well that machine applied it actually, and the time it takes to do it. I think I'd have spent more time hitching a tractor up than what he actually took to do the entire job. And it gave me the opportunity to quickly nip on the roller and just roll the grass seed in on one bit, but I want to get right for the open day. I might have to start irrigating that bit just so it looks smart. But shop, go on the shop, and the shorts will be on. But we've got not the most glamorous of pictures, but we will, when we find somebody with the right knees, we will. I might get Sandy actually. I think he might have the right knees, and I'll get Tom's too gangly, and then we'll. You'll be able to get the short sport and tickets. So buying your tickets. The open day, you can now go on the website under PX Farms, and you will see what's happening on the day. You'll see in the afternoon, etc., all of the demonstrations and events that you can come and see. Again, we're starting to put the sponsors up who've got stands, so you're starting to get a flavour for what's going to happen on the 25th of June. And we'd very much like to see you all, and hopefully learn a bit about positivity in farming and how we're going to push on and come up with new ideas. So I've got to work together to do that. Thanks ever so much, everybody that's been subscribing, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.